This is the land of the windmills, the ancient pumps that Holland has used since the 13th century in taking more than 3,000 square miles of land from the sea. Tulips flourish in the reclaimed soil of the polders back of the dikes, and that's why their culture has been a major Dutch industry for years. When they are in full bloom, the blossoms are picked to produce a quality bulb. More than $35 million worth of bulbs are exported annually to bring their beauty to other lands. Note particularly how accurate the Dutch growers are in classifying bulbs for formal planting, so that gardeners can depend on the color effects wanted and the variety of the flowers. The island of Marken forbids automobiles and discourages bicycles. Once it was the home of fishermen. Then in 1932, a great dike was completed across the mouth of the Zuider Zee. The old salt arm or the sea became a freshwater lake. Wearing their photogenic old-time costumes helps business when there are tourists around. And incidentally, those who know traditional Dutch dress can tell at a glance exactly where the people live. Ironically, these people who have fought against flooding waters for centuries worry more about a shortage of water than anything else. Because Holland is so low and wells tend to become so brackish that the housewife's passion for cleanliness often poses a problem. Here, a typical housewife goes about her chores, proclaiming by means of her dress and her cap that she is married, is a resident of this particular town, and goes on Sunday to a certain church. All of that information is perfectly plain to those who know. In the rural villages such as Volendam, boys until the age of 6 are dressed like little girls, so there is always some doubt about the small fry. Wooden shoes aren't as common as many believe, and besides, they would make it quite a trick to do some things. Their elders contemplate the scene and probably wonder about tomorrow's fishing. For here are the trawlers preparing for the sea, from which thousands earn a livelihood. Close to the seacoast, back of the dikes, vast tulip fields may be found adjacent to busy industrial areas of a city. Only a native can pronounce the name of this town properly. It is Scheveningen, and during the war, the Dutch underground used it as a password because Nazi agents couldn't pronounce it. In the small city of Gouda is the Cathedral of St. John, built in the 15th century and one of the finest specimens of medieval architecture in all of Europe. It is famed for its beautifully paneled interior and for its 64 stained glass windows by forgotten craftsmen. They are the marvel of all who see them, products of the golden age that produced Rembrandt, Ruysdael, and Vermeer. The ancient town hall of Haarlem looks down upon a typical flower market, filling the street with color during the summer months, because the people of the Netherlands are fond of flowers, and if they cannot grow them, they will buy them. The typical customer will enjoy them at home, and the Dutch city home is very much like any American home. There in Maduoram, the inevitable tile rooftops and sharp gables seem to be those of homes and small business establishments in the older sections of a town. But the camera discloses it to be an exhibit in a park, honoring a hero of the underground who saved the city. Every Friday from spring through fall, sightseers and cheese buyers crowd the market square in Alkmaar. Porters in traditional dress and wearing the hats of their guild carry the cheeses to the plaza for the inspection of buyers. After a purchase, they may be rolled aboard a barge that will carry them to a seaport. Zandvoort, in the same area, is the seashore resort of Amsterdam people who bring their youngsters and enjoy the North Sea surf despite the chill of the water, which even the summer sun cannot bring above 60 degrees. Amsterdam is sometimes called the Venice of the North because of its maze of canals, and nearby is part of the old Zuider Zee, so much of which has been drained to increase the land area. The great Dutch navigators and seamen of the 17th century left the heritage of a love for boats, and so it isn't surprising that yachting is a popular sport among the people of a maritime nation such as the Netherlands. With winter's freezing weather, a sort of national paralysis of work sets in. Schools close and many adults take a day off. Holland gets out on the ice-covered waters, where the wind-driven yacht on steel runners can skim the ice with thrilling speed. It may not be long before this inland sea is a thing of the past, for this broad frozen area near the village of Volendam is to be cut off by dikes and pumped dry. Meanwhile, the Dutch people get a full measure of fun out of winter sports, and there'll always be skating. It is the youngsters of today who are going to see great changes in the years ahead. The people of the Zuider Zee villages cling to old customs and dress, largely to attract customers for the trinkets they sell. They easily persuade skaters to forsake the ice and watch a traditional dance. And so the freezing months keep only the old folks indoors. Wintertime is fun time. But cold weather or warm, a holiday brings out the most elaborate bonnets. People of this area, known as Zeeland, also celebrate their recovery of homes and lands inundated by Holland's most disastrous flood a few short years ago. Yachts in the harbor dress ship for the occasion, and it is plain that this is more than an ordinary holiday, for feminine finery is in evidence. These young women wear bonnets of fine handmade lace, which may have been handed down through several generations. The flower-decorated floats in the parade would remind a Californian of New Year's Day in Pasadena, except that here, the rose is replaced by the tulip and the dahlia, a combination of colors no less vivid, but without the heavy scent of the rose. It is a very special occasion and calls for pageantry and celebration. And by the way, the lace caps of these fair men reveal that they are from Volendam. There is an air of expectancy, of awaiting a big moment climaxing a day of joyous festivity. And here it is, the royal coach. Within it, Her Majesty Queen Juliana and Prince Bernhard with the young princesses. The finale of A Holiday in Holland.